Alright, what's up, Writing Workshop? Sorry about the late video. I had to kind of do some shifting around and updating to make a lesson that would work better for us virtually today on this kind of surprise virtual day. One thing that I would love to do today, and this is something that I was planning on doing next week anyway, but it worked well to shift it to today, is double back to punctuation. So far, most of the grammar that we've done in Writing Workshop so far has been based on punctuation marks, starting with end marks all the way back in August, moving through apostrophes and quotation marks more recently. Today gives us an opportunity to kind of quiz over that specifically so I can see how we're doing with punctuation. I'm hoping that you do well on it because it should reward you in the gradebook pretty handsomely. One thing I will tell you is that since today is a virtual day, if you haven't taken a moment to pray just for your learning today, I encourage you to pause our video, just right at the moment, say a quick prayer, and then come back to it. Otherwise, I will lead you through today's work in the rest of this video. Alright, I hope you had a moment to kind of pause and say a prayer if you haven't prayed already. Let's take a look at this thing. As it says, you're watching the 1028 directions video right this moment. The main thing I'm going to do is just give a little overview of our punctuation quiz, which I would like for you. Oh, I actually need to change that. I did change it to the end of the weekend, so I'll update that in the agenda in just a moment. I do want you to take your punctuation quiz this weekend. If you feel ready, by all means, take it today. Get it out of the way. Otherwise, if you want to double back and study through our punctuation materials, you can. Otherwise, this weekend is just more time to continue drafting your persuasive research essay. Again, we'll be spending quite a bit of time on Chromebooks next week, so we can wrap up this project and move on to our next and last major writing project, believe it or not. Looking at today's lesson folder, I'm going to try to keep this video short for the sake of your learning today. You'll notice punctuation quiz, just want to click into that right at the moment, and I'll click preview. So as it says, the following ACT-style questions, just like our last couple quizzes, all refer to punctuation usage. As a reminder, the ACT grammar questions are all about selecting the option that best punctuates or best phrases the underlined portion of the sentence. These ones are all punctuation. Again, no change is an option on all of these questions. So if the underlined portion is already correctly punctuated, select no change. Just want to give some reminders about some tools available to you on these quizzes. For one, this one is not timed. And so I do encourage you to take your time as you're taking your quiz. I would also encourage you that if you would want to put off this quiz for later on this weekend and do some studying first, by all means you can. I just want to give a brief overview of what these look like. So for one, it's all about punctuation. So how many licks does it take to get to the Tootsie Roll center of a Tootsie Pop? This one, notice, is asking for end marks. If end marks are hard to see, or if any punctuation is hard to see, Control plus is zoom in so you can get a better view of what's already there. So this one already has a period, and it's just asking you which punctuation mark works better. Notice too on this one, we do have two options that give us a question mark, but as a reminder, if the ACT corrects one mistake, the question mark is correct here, but makes another mistake, capitalization is wrong, it's automatically wrong. So B we cannot choose. This one would be C. You're welcome for the free answer. Another thing I'd like to show you here as a reminder, you do have some tools at your disposal. Flag for review is good for any questions that you want to double back to. So let's say I'm kind of uncertain about my guess here. I might flag this question for review. That will show me at the end of the quiz to come back to this one as one I'd like to look at again. You could also maybe flag any questions you want to skip initially and save for later. That is a good strategy, is doing the easiest ones for you first and save hard ones for last. There's also eliminate choices. I'll see if I can use this one on another question. Let's just see what types of questions we've got here. It's a comma question. You'll see a lot of comma and comma splice questions on this quiz. Ah, look, a quotation mark question on this one. So once again, I'll zoom in a bit so we can see them a bit. Control plus is good. So notice we have quotation marks. All four of our options give us different ways to plant quotation marks in this sentence. It's odd, noted Inspector James, that the footprints vanish halfway down the hill. Let's say I look at this and I know that no change is wrong. I know that I've got to have some break in my quotation marks here because of noted Inspector James. Let's say I know I can get rid of no change. And it's usually best to see if I can eliminate at least 2, because at least that gives me a 50-50 shot if I'm not sure. Let's say I know that B is also incorrect, because that gives me 3 quotation marks. One around it's odd, but then one more at the end of the sentence. Let's say I know quotation marks always come in pairs. The options I have left is odd, comma, inside of quotation marks, odd, comma, outside of quotation marks, and a period after James. From here I can decide which one is the better of the 2 options. Just looking at other types of questions here, that's an apostrophes question. Apostrophes should be the last things on the quiz. And then question 13 is kind of a bonus right there. I wanted this quiz to be worth 25, so you just have to choose which of the following options equals 25. Should be a pretty easy one. Wink, wink. And once again, that's really all I've got for you for today. Once again, I need to update the due date on punctuation quiz. I'll do that in just a moment. Otherwise, the weekend is time to continue drafting your persuasive research essay. I will place this lesson folder right above our lesson folder from Wednesday. So if you want to easily access your persuasive essay materials, those will be there. Otherwise, I should be available off and on in Microsoft Teams really throughout the weekend, including this afternoon. I love y'all. I'm sorry that today had to be a virtual day, but let's get some work done. Again, next week will be our week for wrapping up persuasive research essays. Peace.